Still.
Hey, there we are. This hangout is live.
All you people out there, if there are any of you, you are here for a special night because Adam's wife, as we speak, is going into labor. Literally right now, as we're doing this podcast, she is
It
going.
is a run. It is a rundown exclusive.
Yeah, we're not just making this up. This is actually true.
It's not. Yeah, it's not just
Wife is-
reading.
Yeah, it's actually true.
She's squirting out a kid right now.
She is.
She is. Oh my God.
She is doing just that. Yeah, let's see. Oh, I'm trying to finagle. It's been a while since I've been on this, so I'm trying to remember what
right?
goes where.
I think the last time was you and I before, about a month ago.
Yeah, I think it was. Was it a month ago? Why was that soon? Huh?
I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't that. It didn't feel like it was that long ago that you and I did our episode together. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go. Now I got my thing all set up. I got my my little bumper set up. And,
Nice. We're ready to go. Fantastic.
I got the chat open, I think.
All right, and I've already sent out the social media earlier, so I'm not resetting anything out because I'm goddamn lazy.
Fair enough.
And I don't get paid. I mean, I don't know. Like, does he ever send two? I don't know. Maybe I'll send a quick one on Facebook, and then that'll hopefully post to Twitter too, because I think it does both.
Oh, did you not put one on Facebook?
Yeah, let me see. Rundown. I'll just put a, hey, we're live. Come join us, fucker.
Perfect. And hopefully some people join in. Just Andy and a raccoon this week.
All right.
We apologize for the absence of Adam if you tuned in to see Adam, but he is busy getting his hand squeezed at the moment, I assume.
Oh, I'm sure.
While his wife screams, "You did this to me!"
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So how are you on your end? You kind of ready?
I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
I hope my batteries in my headset hold up.
That sounds like a reject character from the original script of for Shadowbane. Yeah, it's just a good old bring in Headless Mike for an episode.
Headless Mike. Sweet.
Headless Mike. Hey, by the way, I'm going to have an episode coming up where I'm going to need at least one voice actor, one or two voice actors who aren't part of my normal crew for a one-time gig.
Hey.
If you're interested.
What does it pay?
I'll put your name at the end.
Okay. All right.
And
You will put Raccoon Reigns at the end.
I will. If you want, I could even say voices by, and I can put you in as Raccoon Reigns if you prefer.
Perfect. Well, why wouldn't you? That's who I am.
And that would, I think, entice some people to go, what the hell is going on with that? So there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll be in touch with you later.
Excellent.
Once I finish up the last bits of the revisions of that script. So.
Perfect. Does it
All
say?
right.
Can you see right now if anybody is out there at the moment?
Right now we have 0 viewers.
Okay. All right.
0 viewers right at the moment.
I assumed
but
as much.
Hopefully that'll change.
All right.
We will find out.
We shall see.
All right. So I will post in this week's episode later. Hell, I might use the Shadowbane bumper again because fuck it, I'm putting the episode together, so I can do what the hell I want.
There you go.
So we'll just kind of jump in and start with the first question, and then we'll do the back and forth kind of discussion in general, kind of round table with two people sort of thing.
All right.
All right.
I'll follow.
You ready?
I am.
All right. Episode 178 of the Rundown.
Wow.
In 2, 1, record. So, this week, it has the news has come out that the great Khali, the amazing wrestler, the great Khali, the technician, the great Khali, sadly, has been released from his WWE contract. My question for you to start the show, Mr. Reigns, is who's next?
Goldberg?
Maybe. Who's gonna be? I should probably rephrase. Who's gonna be released next?
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, well, with Khali being gone, I've just lost all faith in the company now. I mean, they're just so directionless.
I don't know
How
if I
can
watch
you?
it.
All those fond memories I have of him doing 450 splashes now just gone.
No, I completely agree. I feel that I hope the next is Hornswoggle.
Oh, Well, they did kind of make a pair for a while, as
They were,
I
right?
lovingly referred to them. Yeah, I lovingly referred to them as God's mistake on this podcast when they used to
Yes,
team up.
yes.
So, yeah,
Very lovingly, very
yeah,
lovingly.
of course. Term of
Uh,
endearment.
Absolutely. Let's get to the rundown.
Let's do it.
This is the part where they put in music. I think it lasts about 30 seconds.
Hopefully, gangster rap.
Oh man, if he's like all busy and I have to like release the episode, that means I may have to come up with my own opening song.
Ah, nice.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I will put gangster rap in.
Beautiful. Read a poem.
Hey.
Which, by the way, were you happy seeing the WWE 2K15 ads that they're reciting the Dylan Thomas poem, "Do Not Go Gentle" into that good
Yeah,
night?
was that John Cena doing that?
It was John Cena doing it, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
also, I don't know if you've seen the movie Interstellar, but that poem plays a huge part of that movie as well. So it's a really good time for Dylan Thomas right now, is what I'm saying.
It really is.
Yeah.
More likely to time an intro better than us. It's episode 178 of the Rundown. My name is Andy, and I am your host this week. Joining me is not Adam. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But joining me this week is Raccoon Reigns.
Indeed, and for the people who have tuned in on Google Plus or people who want to watch it later, because Adam's wife is currently going into labor, I would like to stage a visual enactment of that, if I may. You can see it right here. This is what happens. Push, push. Oh, yeah! All right. Woo, here we go. Okay, I'm here.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
There I am. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was really hard to stay quiet while you were doing that, so you
Oh.
can get the whole visual of you being birthed from that trash can.
I'm a method actor. And
I hope that you're not trying to compare his wife's vagina to a trash can, because that would
of
be really
course, no.
fantastic. I also hope the child is less furry than that.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Genetics being what they are.
Yeah, sometimes kids are born with full heads of hair and full back hair. Maybe.
Absolutely.
If I may, I also
Yeah.
I just want to say now obviously we don't know what Adam's son will grow up to be. Perhaps
we
a
don't.
doctor, or an astronaut, nude model, some combination of the three. But one thing we do know is that Adam will view him as a complete and utter disappointment unless he grows up to become a professional wrestler. So with that in mind, I would like to indulge all of you right now, because Adam's son clearly will grow up to be a professional wrestler. I would like to do his first ever ring announcement. Would that be okay if I?
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a great way to start the show.
Please, if I may. This is for you. This is for you, Adam's family. Adam's family. This is for you. Coming down the birth canal from female parts unknown. Weighing in at 8 pounds, 6 ounces, he is the drool spitting, Pampers shitting, wears a Kofi Kingston bib and has ring ropes around his crib, the all-night crier who refuses the pacifier. He made the controversial decision to perform his own circumcision.
Oh God.
Refuses to wear his seatbelt in the child safety seats. He's got a diaper full of pee-pee and a mouth full of teats for the 2 in attendance and the dozens listening at home worldwide. Babies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Robbie! There we go. That's my present. That is my present to baby Robbie and the entire Adams family and the entirety of Adams family.
I'm sure he'd rather have money. So
Most likely.
So that's excellent. I'm glad you got to share that. I think that he'll really enjoy that, and I feel it wasn't as offensive. So I know that Adam's wife had strictly prohibited you from turning their child into some sort of monster this week. So
This is true. Yeah, I think we mentioned it on the pre-show, but for those of who are just listening on the podcast, literally right now as we speak, Adam's wife is going into labor.
She is. And
That's
at some point, I will try to break the news. I'll keep checking the Facebook to wait for the pictures of her clutching the child to her chest, Adam crying, weeping, possibly with a crushed hand.
yeah, most likely.
We will find out, and we will let you know here live.
We will.
Okay,
And
live if you're watching, which they have 0 viewers right now, but that's besides the point.
I'm surprised Adam isn't watching.
It's like I imagine his wife would be very angry.
Well, Yeah,
Maybe we could soothe her by talking about wrestling.
Yeah, I'm still hoping he calls in for the trivia segment. We'll see.
We'll find out. If I were a doctor working and this guy's like, hang on, I know that the baby's almost out, but I just got a text. I got to go do some trivia thing for a podcast about wrestling. If I were that doctor, I'd probably punch him.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Your wife is crowning. Yeah. Hold on a second. I just got to answer this trivia question. All right, give me a second.
Jesus Christ, give me a second. It's a stumper.
It's about Slammy nominees, for Christ's sake. Come on.
Jesus God, who remembers those?
All right.
Well,
shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do so. As of right now, I don't know what our numbers are. I don't know if we're still doing the whole numbers thing. No change to the official listener and all that mumbo jumbo. So let's just jump into our roundtable discussion, into our new and improved fresh smelling rewind.
Indeed. And if you want to become the official listener, donate $36 to Andy's podcast, Shadow Vein, or buy a bunch of copies of the chat book.
I'll take $36 toward my podcast. It costs like $60 for the software. So there you go. And I've got this chat book here, Chasing Distant Horizons. Haven't sold
right off the bat.
So check that out.
Perfect.
Hey, I'm on the show. I could chill as much as I want. So let's start. Where do you want to start? I'm kind of curious. Since you said you only watched Raw this week.
I only watched Raw. You said you watched the other two shows. So
I watched the other two shows. Maybe we should start a little bit with NXT.
Yeah. If anything noteworthy happened there or SmackDown.
Yeah, there was. I mean, as I mentioned last week, I've really got two things to say about NXT this week. One of the things that I have to say was, as I talked about last week, the Road to Redemption storyline of Sami Zayn came to what was supposed to be an end this week on NXT.
Okay. Now, this is him getting revenge on people who have wronged him?
Yes, the people who have beaten him, and he's trying to prove that he's a number one contender, that he can be a world champion. So he's gone back and he's defeated, I'm trying to think of the people's names now. Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze, and he beat I can't remember, a bunch of people that. For sake of sitting here stammering, a bunch of people that had beaten him before, leading now into this final match against current NXT World Champion Adrian Neville.
So just for the record, his storyline is John Cena from last year.
Kinda, yeah. Cyclical.
That's right. As we've said on this podcast, everything is cyclical in wrestling.
Back around. I didn't even think about that. I've really been enjoying. I don't know. Do you watch NXT at all?
I do not. I probably should, but I do not.
You should. It is. And that's going to get into my second point that I want to make about NXT, but we can talk about it now before we talk about really specifically the Zayn and Neville match. And maybe we won't have much to talk about here because you don't really watch the product. But, I want to know, what is it about NXT that makes that show so much damn better?
Is it the wrestling?
Raw? I think it is. I mean, ultimately, I think that's the biggest thing. And the fact that, there's no wasted segments on this hour show. And, I mean, do you have Hulu by chance?
No. Do I subscribe to it? No, I do not.
Okay. I know they still show it on Hulu. I don't know if you have to have a subscription. I think it might be free on Hulu. You really should owe yourself a chance to go back and watch this last episode. I mean, it was just really, really good. I mean, you had match after match after match that are just classic wrestling bouts. And I mean, that's what we've been getting every week from NXT. And I just don't understand how they could write a wrestling program so well with people who are so fresh and new. And then you get Grumpy Cat on Raw.
Yes, which was just wonderful.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm assuming it's different people who are writing NXT, different people writing Raw and SmackDown and all that.
I imagine.
Maybe it's because with NXT you have a bunch of guys who are so hungry to get in the spotlight, whereas with the WWE you have so many guys who are just complacent.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe that's part of it, because it's not like Cena's really worrying about his job. He'll be there every single week. Randy Orton too. Well, when he's not filming a movie.
Right. He's not
And
sticking.
guys like that have just been around forever, where it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm getting a paycheck from the company, I'll just do whatever.
Yeah. Um, Topping off that night for NXT this week, there was that match between Zayn and Neville. I'd kind of it was kind of a coin flip for me. I wasn't sure what they were going to do, if they were going to have Adrian Neville finally drop the NXT title and have Sami Zayn finally have his moment in the sun,
Mhm.
or whether they were going to try to come up with something to shortchange Sami Zayn once again and extend that storyline even further. And what we get is an unbelievable match. First of all, just classic wrestling match. They both gave it absolutely their all, and it ends with a spot where Sami Zayn is down. Neville goes for his finisher, the Red Arrow, which is a 450 crazy corkscrew flip.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw him do it that one random time on Raw when they
mhm.
suddenly gave the NXT guys a tag match for some reason.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to build. I think they were doing a pay per view or whatever. Not the pay per view, but the special event for NXT that following week.
Yeah, it was
But
when they were leading up to the September 11th show, I believe.
yes, the September
Yeah.
11th show, absolutely. Um,
Indeed.
mhm. So he launches himself off with the Red Arrow, smashes himself into the mat when Sami Zayn rolls out of the way, and Zayn, being the typical just kind of nice guy, that's kind of his character. He's just kind of like, I'm a nice dude. What happens is Neville feigns an injury
Mm.
rather convincingly for his knee after he hit. And they really played it up. They replayed it several times before the match officially ended, and then finally, when Sami Zayn was checking on him, Neville rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
We get a Adrian Neville who continues to favor the knee in the corner with the referee and the trainer after the match, and a Sami Zayn staring off, comatose, pretty much in the center of the ring, looking completely dejected, like someone who just run over his puppy. So an amazing match. I guess we don't have much to talk about since you haven't seen it, but an unbelievable match. I want to really stress to anyone out there listening: if you do not watch NXT, what is wrong with you? You need to be watching NXT, which I just heard passed 2 million likes on Facebook. NXT.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So wait, so is this like leading to a heel turn by one of them potentially?
I don't know. I think they've been kind of hinting at a little bit of some heelish activity from Neville, and I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know if that means it's going to end up being a full blown heel turn. I don't know if that's going to be, maybe Sami Zayn's going to snap.
Or, I mean, maybe since he just went through this whole redemption tour, maybe it's like, well, now there's nothing left for him to do. Let's put him on Raw.
That could be it too, right? Absolutely. And I would be
Yeah.
okay with that because Sami Zayn is fantastic. I think he needs a little bit more time maybe in NXT, but he is so over with the fans. It's ridiculous.
Nice. He is the former El Generico, I believe, right?
He is. He is formerly El Generico. So,
There you go.
absolutely.
All right. Well, good to know. I guess we shall see what happens. When's NXT
Absolutely.
on? Thursday nights?
I think it's two. No, yeah, Thursday nights. Yeah, right, Thursday nights.
Okay. Tune in tomorrow then.
Absolutely. I imagine they're going to push NXT back to Wednesdays, or is it Wednesday? I can't remember. It's either Thursdays or Wednesdays. But I think they might push. If it is Thursdays, they may have to push it back since they're moving SmackDown now back to Thursday nights. They probably
Right,
don't want to have
yes.
two things competing. So
Maybe that'll help the ratings because who the fuck really watches TV on a Friday night? Most people are out doing other stuff.
absolutely, I agree. SmackDown. Only a couple things to note on SmackDown. We get Jericho, of all people, returning for a highlight reel segment.
Hey, oh, so he didn't even wrestle. Okay.
No, he didn't wrestle. He came back. They were in, I believe, the United Kingdom, and he shows up, and we get a segment with him and the Authority. An okay segment, but it was just kind of neat to see Jericho back. Do you think this could be the beginning of Jericho's return, or is it too soon? He just kind of came in to help promote the show in England.
Well, that's really weird because I mean now they're back in the States and he was
Yes.
not on Raw.
Okay.
So was Fozzy just touring Europe at the moment or
I
something? I have
wonder.
no
I
idea.
wonder. I should have looked that up.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I assume I don't know when the Fozzy tour wraps up or whatever, but at the very least I mean they have 40 guys in the Rumble this year, so he should at least be one of them.
Is that official? Are they really doing 40?
That's what I heard.
Uh,
40 men.
that is. Did they? I think they did that one other year. Did they not?
They did. They did it for the one in Boston actually, the one that Del Rio won.
Oh, did you guys go to that one?
No, and I can't believe, I don't know why. For some reason, the Royal Rumble is my absolute favorite pay-per-view of the
Right.
year, and it was in Boston, which is obviously right in our neck of the woods, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to get tickets, and I have no idea why in retrospect.
No, it's okay. There have been several pay-per-views in Chicago, and I'm like, oh, that's only like 2.5 hours. Yeah, but I don't want to drive.
Or when Raw was in Davenport recently for your boy Seth
Right, and I
Rollins.
skipped on
His
to that too.
homecoming.
Well, that's because tickets were like $100 for a house show.
It was Raw though, wasn't it?
No, there was one in Iowa City or Des Moines or
Oh,
something.
okay. All right.
That was like about I think it was Des Moines. It was like 2.5 hours away, and I was like, eh.
Hmm. Iowa is a bigger state than I would have thought.
It is. It's actually fairly decently big. There's not a lot of major cities. We've got Iowa City, Des Moines, and Davenport. Those are the three big ones, I think, in
There you
all
go.
honesty.
And
So
Davenport is where Seth Rollins is from, right?
that is correct. That is
All right.
correct.
Well, there we go. Now we know where Gix is from.
Yes, we're Gix. Our good buddy Gix,
Oh yeah.
who I have pancakes with, you know.
Yeah, you're still close to them, so you call him Gix.
Oh, all the time. All
Yeah.
the time. I mean, that's his first name, obviously.
Yeah. Every time he texts you in your cell phone, it comes up as
It comes up
Gix.
as Gix, and a picture of him and like whatever Gix looked like, because I still don't remember what he looked like.
Yeah. I would assume space alien, but I don't know.
You know, I would go for it if I were booking a wrestling program. I would totally have a space alien named Gix.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, if I ran a wrestling program, it would be pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. What would you call it?
I don't know. I'd probably call it the. I don't even know. I'd probably have to try to come up with like a lewd acronym like TNA,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Exactly.
that's worked out really well for them.
Yeah. CNT.
Good times. We get two other little things on SmackDown.
Okay.
One was we get something with Dean Ambrose. Apparently Ambrose has daddy issues, and that I think that continued on. Did that continue on to Raw at all? This whole storyline about how
sort of,
like
kinda.
I mean like we've been seeing this like evolving storyline between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt.
Mhm.
And the storyline has taken a strange turn over the last several weeks with Bray Wyatt continually making comments about how negative comments about Ambrose's family and father in particular. What's your thoughts? And we'll get into this a little bit more later as far as making our prediction. But what's your thought about the build up toward the Ambrose Wyatt match thus far?
I'm glad you brought. I was actually saving it for one of my little items because obviously I watched Raw and they continued
Yeah.
this more on Raw. I
Go for it.
think this feud fucking blows. And
Really?
I do. I think it sucks.
So you're
Um,
on my side on it. All right.
yes,
Cool.
I am because first of all, I mean, you had the start of it at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that was the blow-off to the Ambrose Seth Rollins feud, this
Mhm.
massive feud they've had for months and months. Bray Wyatt interferes for no fucking reason. They do the little cartoony trick with the lantern, and I don't know if it's just I just don't know what it is, but Bray Wyatt is now starting to kind of sorry, internet, he's starting to bore me a little bit with all these promos. They kind of are just really repetitive, and I'm just starting to lose interest with them. And it makes no sense for he and Ambrose to really be feuding. And everything that I've seen them do together so far, I've just been like, whatever. I don't doubt that the match at the pay-per-view will be very good. It's just that they have done absolutely nothing to make me interested in this feud.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that there have been moments for me where I've kind of gotten a little excited, where I'm like, oh, okay, like that's I talked about last week. There was a segment on SmackDown where, because of the fact that it's pre-taped, they could do some kind of cool visual effects sort of thing. Like that was kind of neat. But I'm kind of with you on this, Camp, and I've been kind of with you on this since the last pay-per-view, which has definitely soured me a little bit too on the Bray Wyatt character.
Yeah.
This idea that, like you had just said, you build up this feud for months, since like WrestleMania, right? I think that was when the Shield officially broke up.
It was after God, whatever the pay-per-view was where the Shield faced Evolution. It was the next
Yeah,
day.
so maybe it
Yeah.
was. I don't know if that was WrestleMania or not. I don't think that was WrestleMania night.
Maybe it was Extreme Rules or one of
Yeah,
those
something
dumbass
like that. It was like, yeah, but it was
secondary
like right
ones.
after.
Yeah.
So like we've been building for months, and we're gonna get our final, and they tore the house down. Ambrose and Rollins did.
Yep.
Unbelievable pay-per-view match to have it end in a schmoz.
Yeah. To have it end with Bray Wyatt interfering,
Mhm.
who had up to that point zero involvement with either of them.
Right, absolutely. Made no
And
sense to me whatsoever.
But that's the thing too, because that match, the Ambrose Rollins match, headlined Hell in a Cell. It
Mhm.
wasn't Cena and
And
Orton.
Orton.
That was the other big match they
Mhm.
played up for Hell in a Cell. It wasn't Cena and Orton. It was Ambrose and Rollins.
Right.
So you had a ton of build up for this, and then when Bray Wyatt interferes, okay, it makes no sense, but you
Mhm.
should have a lot of momentum going into this Ambrose
Right.
Wyatt feud, and uh, for my money, I basically just think of Vince McMahon after he yelled at Steve Austin
Mhm.
for breaking up the Mike Tyson segment. All I can hear in my head is, "You ruined it, damn it! You ruined it."
Right. I agree, and I'm glad that we agree because usually Adam and I don't agree on these things. So it's kind of nice to realize that Adam's wrong and we're right. So
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Uh, and also on the "you ruined it" note, of which I'll get into a little
Yes,
later,
absolutely.
the Bella feud was also I actually wanted after SummerSlam when
Mhm.
Nikki turned on Brie, I was actually invested in that, and
So was I.
they tanked it. They absolutely tanked it. And
Mhm.
the sad thing is, Nikki Bella really improving in the ring. Her matches,
Absolutely.
if you saw the triple threat, I think it wasn't oh, what was it? Maybe it was Night of Champions, or it was Nikki
Yes.
Bella and Paige and AJ.
And EJ.
Fantastic three-way match. All of
Absolutely
them
good
were
match.
it kept me completely invested. And like Nikki, it seems it's actually really interesting because it seems like Nikki is now kind of distancing herself from Brie in the sense that her moves are generally more of like a power
Yeah,
variety. You know, she's kind
absolutely.
of
Take it over the
manhandling
floor.
or
Absolutely.
yeah, or woman handling.
Woman handling it.
She's kind of like got that rack attack finisher and whatnot. She's kind of being more like the powerhouse, and I guess Brie, I'm assuming, is not because she's kind of small and waifish. But they pretty much ruined that feud too.
You're right.
Now it's just like, oh, she's her personal assistant. We had one match between them, and it was for it wasn't even. It was basically the one match they had was so Brie could become her personal assistant,
Right.
and now
And that
that's
match
ending.
wasn't bad either.
No, no, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
And now that storyline is wrapping up too with the personal assistant thing. It's like, what's going to happen now? They've already fought. They've already had a
Right.
stupid stipulation. Anyway, but I'm getting sidetracked. But
No, no, you're not, and I think that's fine. I mean, this is the whole idea of the roundtable, but I think that the idea of I mean, we know what's going to happen at the event, like because there is a one-on-one Divas title match coming up, which we'll talk about. And
indeed,
this kind of gets into my prediction a little bit early, but that's okay. I don't care. Um,
that's fine.
the match is going to go like this, in my opinion. They're
Mhm,
going to have a good match. I feel they'll have
mhm.
a pretty good match. Maybe not 100% classic, but it'll be a pretty good match. It'll be entertaining. And it'll end when Brie Bella, who's like 30 days have got to be up by now,
Yeah, probably.
will probably get involved, interfere, and cost her sister the title. Thus, maybe leading to once again another, maybe one final match between them, and I don't know, maybe like some sort of weird retirement match. Maybe Brie will take some time off in the ring and go away,
Yeah,
and I'd be okay with that because then you break up the twins, you give Nikki a chance, who is improving, as you said, a
yeah,
chance to stand out on her own a little bit more.
yeah. And well, also, I think maybe with LTs for next month. I mean, even depending on whoever wins the match, I think
Hmm.
they'll throw Brie Bella into it because I don't know if you saw on Raw when they did the segment with, Brie imitating AJ. At the end,
Hmm.
AJ gave her a DDT.
Right.
So, or was it no? Was it DDT?
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
something.
But basically, I think it was something. She basically attacked Brie after the match for
Mhm.
essentially dressing like her. So you still have that three-way component set up where you could just roll that over to next month, have a three-way match between the Bellas and AJ blow
Right.
off the feud there. But anywho, but to get back to the original point, yeah, the Ambrose Wyatt feud blows.
Yes. Yeah, I think, like you said, it'll be a good match probably, but one of the things that comes to my mind when I think of this match is what do either have to gain from fighting each other when both are trying to become rising stars?
Yes, I agree. And Ambrose is what you could say going into Hell in a Cell. Ambrose may have been the most over guy on the roster,
I
and
agree.
what worries me is that this shitty feud they're having is going to take a lot of the heat off Ambrose. And all the same, with Wyatt returning, how he was
Mhm.
been off TV up until Hell in a Cell. He'd been off TV for about a month, and they
Yeah.
had the little vignettes going, and it was kind of like, oh, it might be interesting when he gets back. And now it seems like his heat has cooled as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're basically kind of taking the heat off two of your up and coming stars
Absolutely.
who should be on the up and up. But whatever. And that Wyatt's going to have to establish himself now because he won't have the Wyatt family behind him, obviously.
Yeah.
So he's got to be on his own. He's got to do his own thing, and it seems like he might end up getting lost in the shuffle if this feud is any indication. Because this feud should be one of the major feuds, and it's just completely taken a backseat to Team Cena versus Team Authority.
Right, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. But speaking of, I want to segue into this one.
All right.
Speaking of people who have a lot of build in their character recently. We talked a little bit about this last week, Adam and I. Ryback.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know Adam and I have talked about it, but I want to maybe get your take on it. To kind of extend our roundtable from last week's discussion on it. What are your thoughts on Ryback's recent push once again, and now his role being involved in the main event match at the pay-per-view as part of one of the teams?
Seems like he's right back from the dead.
Oh.
Oh. I think actually they are doing a good job building him back up because the last time we saw him, he was jobbing endlessly.
Yeah.
Like to pretty much any and everybody. Whether it was as part of Ryback or in singles matches, he just seemed to be basically enhancement talent for the last couple times we saw him.
Right.
So to actually bring him back, I think it was it was a surprise opponent for somebody. Was it Bo Dallas? Yeah, it was Bo Dallas.
Yeah, it might have been Bo Dallas.
Was basically like, give me a surprise opponent, and then Ryback comes back and just demolishes him, and you're like, okay, we kind of easing him back in here, and he actually seemed like a credible threat as he can because he's a jacked up, roided colossus.
Right.
But yeah, they're definitely doing a good job putting him back in the scene. It's just kind of funny to see him go from jobber to main eventer, basically. Like he's in this feud. It's the whole Cena authority thing was based around Ryback more or less making a decision as to what team he was going to be on.
Right, which is so weird. It's so weird, like that. Like you said, it's only been a short amount of time since he was jobbed. So.
Indeed.
And speaking of Ryback, he had I don't know about you, but I thought his match with Cesaro on Raw.
Yeah.
Was a phenomenal match.
Yeah. Mainly, a lot of the credit for that may go to Cesaro. I don't know,
Maybe.
but yeah, it was good. It was a good.
It was
match.
hard hitting. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Power versus power.
Yeah, I mean, it made Ryback obviously look good going into the bet, and made Cesaro look like a friggin' beast.
Oh yeah. And then what they did with him later, well, whatever. We'll get to that, but
right.
that confused the crap out of me at the end of Raw. But,
we'll talk about. Let's save that one. We'll save that one for a little bit. We'll make that our last thing we talk about, I think.
Sure.
But speaking of amazing matches and Cesaro,
mm-hmm.
Go back to SmackDown and
was
watch.
This the one with Tyson Kidd and Ziggler?
Oh my fucking God!
I heard it was fantastic.
Go watch that. If you watch anything from this week, to watch two things. Watch that match and see if you can watch that match between Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville. That Intercontinental title triple threat match elimination match between Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, and Dolph Ziggler is easily one of the best wrestling matches I've seen this year.
Nice. And when I heard that, I saw some things. There were some reviews that were saying that this is phenomenal. I was like, really? Well, good for Tyson Kidd that he's getting some publicity now, as opposed to just being from the publicity he's getting from Total Divas for being a dickbag husband.
Absolutely.
But actually getting a chance to shine in a wrestling capacity. So good.
It was a 3-segment match where we saw it was just innovative. There were just innovative moves throughout. Things that I've never seen in a wrestling ring before, and you'd think that having watched wrestling for as long as I have, and as long as wrestling's been around, they would not be able to come up with stuff anymore.
Yeah. Well, then even more credit to them for putting all that effort into a SmackDown match when obviously Raw is the main show, and SmackDown so few people watch it compared to Raw. So good on them.
It was so good.
I probably could. I'm sure. I bet they probably have it on WWE.com or one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe the network for the low price of this 000.
Yeah, which I want to talk about that in a second. Actually, we'll talk about it now because we talked about it a little bit last week. But we're obviously moving into the end of November here, coming up soon, and the pay-per-view being the big thing. Is this a wise move in your opinion?
It's a desperation move. You never give away something for free if it's doing well.
Right.
I mean, this is basically just a way of them trying to get people to come to it. Like, oh yeah, look, see WWE Network for free. You guys want to stick around, right? Right? You want to just pay for network while you're here. You mind doing that?
Yeah, you want to give money, please, money.
Exactly. I would see personally. What I would have done is I would have given it away for free next month. Whatever shitty pay-per-view they have next month, probably TLC. Because if you're going to give it away free for December, and then you can say, we're cutting off access for January, guess what's coming up in January? The Royal fucking Rumble. You want to say that one, don't you?
That's going to be something that people would stick around for.
Absolutely. Because who wouldn't want to see a Royal Rumble? That's like I get more excited for the Royal Rumble typically than I do for WrestleMania.
Oh, I do too. I do too. I've always loved the Royal Rumble. I mean, I've always loved the three that I've always loved are WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series. And usually it's Survivor Series and Royal Rumble I care more about. Not Survivor Series as much anymore,
Yeah.
but I mean the way it used to be. And as we'll talk about at the end of the
Oh
show,
yeah.
it does seem like they're going back to more of the elimination format, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I used to love the Survivor Series when I was a kid because it'd be like, oh, this collection of faces and this collection of
Mhm.
heels, and it's like, oh, they have their own team, and they gave me even a team name too,
Mhm.
and not just like Team
It's the
Cena.
Vipers
Ex-
versus the Visionaries.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, those are good times. But yeah, obviously the Survivor Series. I'm glad actually they are bringing back a traditional Survivor Series match, and they're really playing it up like it means something. Although
Yeah.
it really only means something on the authorities' end. I think there's no real incentive for Team Cena to win, other than not having their
Well,
lives made hell, I suppose.
spoiler, which I can bring in now because
Oh,
I
please.
forgot to actually add this to my news segment I read, and this you'll I'm sure you're going to agree with me.
All right.
This was a boneheaded, stupid ass move by WWE to do this, but from what I heard, if the rumor is true, because SmackDown is taped early,
Mhm.
that the new stipulation that will be revealed on SmackDown is that if Team Cena loses, every member from Team Cena will be fired from the WWE.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we obviously know who's going to win then.
Yes, and
As
that
if we didn't already, but
right. I mean, we already kind of knew, but I mean, there was still a little bit of doubt in my mind. I was kind of wondering, okay, well, like, are they really going to get rid of the authority? Are they going to step down? How's this going to work? How are they going to play it out? Um, but now it's locked in.
yeah. Well, John Cena, what would he care? That happened to him before with the Nexus. He just came back the next week.
That's true.
Doesn't make any difference to him. He can be like, yeah, I'm fired. All right, sweet. See you next Monday.
Exactly. Exactly. So I don't know.
Like Big Show. How many times has
If
Big
the
Show
rumor,
been fired? He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit.
yeah, absolutely. I don't know. If the rumor's true, it's disappointing that they went that route.
It is because I could understand if like the Authority, Triple H, Stephanie, and the rest of them, if they didn't get any heat. But you could say they are probably the best heels on the roster. I would
Hmm.
say in terms of being characters you're supposed to hate, who the
Yeah.
crowd actually do hate, who they actually. Stephanie gets heat, Triple H gets heat. It's like, why would you want to break up your most effective
Hmm.
fandom, essentially? They get great reactions and they're very entertaining. I fucking love Stephanie. I think she's awesome on the mic. Maybe the best she's ever been in her career,
Hmm.
because she was kind of the screechy,
Yeah.
annoying character earlier in her career, but now she's just like the smarmy, like just
Well,
laughing off the crowd. Like the
yeah.
crowds, or I think Sheamus made some comment to her, and she just like threw it right back in his face. It was
Yeah.
just
She's been
amazing.
like witty as all hell.
Yeah, not to mention the one time when they were in Chicago and they were chanting CM Punk, and she gave it back to them where she was like, "See that, Daniel? This crowd wants you to quit just like CM Punk did." I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh," I was like, "Stephanie, I fucking love you. You're amazing."
That's
Um,
brilliant.
but the point
Yeah.
being that they're really effective heels and they're very entertaining, and so I don't even obviously it seems like they're going the direction of breaking them up.
Here's a question
Yeah,
though. What if they don't?
even better,
What if Team Cena loses?
even better. Because the firing, if it's a firing angle in wrestling, it literally means nothing
Right.
unless you know in advance, like, oh, John Cena's taking time off to film a movie or blah blah blah. Then it's like, okay, he's quote unquote fired. Or if it's like, well, John Cena's contract's up and he's done with wrestling, then okay, he's fired, so he's going to be quote unquote fired on camera.
But
But in
what?
this
Yeah.
case, in this case, it basically means when it comes to a wrestling angle, quote unquote, firing when none of the people are actually leaving the company, that it's just, you could fire them, but they'll just be back on TV anyway. It's kind of the accepted thing. Chris Jericho was fired by Eric Bischoff, and then a couple of years later, he just comes back, no mention of it whatsoever.
Yeah. We'll just ignore that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's happened to so many guys before. But
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage lost a retirement match at WrestleMania to the Ultimate Warrior, and he was back within a year.
Right. No,
So
absolutely.
it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I know it doesn't, but I wonder if they'll try to play it off as like a big deal, so that way people will stick with the network to try to figure out like what's going to happen, kind of thing. Like I feel like that would be almost more shocking than the Authority losing, and then them having to come up with a new authority figure. Although I can see obviously that being a storyline that could draw people in too. Like, who's going to be the new owner, or not owner, but like person in charge of WWE?
Spoiler alert: it would be Vicky Guerrero.
That would be awesome.
I'm just assuming she's the go-to anytime they.
She is. She is.
But
I
why
mean,
not? Why not Brad Maddox? He just came back recently at house shows, I think.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's they gotta do something, but I don't know what route they're gonna go. I think I know. Obviously, I think we know what route they're gonna go. But I
Sure.
wonder though, are they gonna try to swerve us?
Yeah. Well, what pisses me off the most about this angle too is okay, fine. They're really effective heels. You want to write them off TV, fine. Can you think of a better way to do it than just having Vince McMahon show up on Raw and be like, oh well, guess what? You're gone. You're gone if you lose. It's like, why?
Why? Why would he do that? I don't understand why he'd do that.
Build up. Zero build up whatsoever. The three of them came out together. Steph, Vince, and Triple H came out together after presumably having, traveled in a limo, traveled all the way across the country together to get to the Raw venue, and then Vince is just like, as soon as they get in the ring, he's like, oh, by the way, you're not the Authority anymore if you lose. It's like, what? Why? What was the point of that? What, do you not like your daughter and son-in-law anymore for some reason?
Absolutely.
It absolutely made no goddamn sense. There was no thought put into it whatsoever. If they at least had a reason for it, like maybe if Triple H and Stephanie had, like abused their power ridiculously, like they did last year around this time when they were, fucking over Dolph Ziggler every week and slapping the Big Show in the face and blah blah blah. But this time around, it was just kind of like they're not really abusing them. They kind of are, but I mean they're just basically being dicks. So I don't know. Whatever. It was just completely out of nowhere, and it was bullshit, and it was stupid.
I mean, leading up to, aside from hearing about the change in the change in stipulation of if they lose they're fired, I'm actually what I watched from Raw, because Raw I watched the Hulufied shortened version where they cut out all the stuff that wasn't really involved with that main event for the most part. I was kind of jacked, and I still kind of am for the match, not as much anymore now I know the stipulation, but. I think it's good. They really did a very good job of building this match.
Yeah. I actually think that the part also that saddens me is that Cena's team is most likely going to win, but Team Authority has such a better roster.
Oh, they do.
So much better.
Tons.
I mean
they got the good Wyatt family member.
That's right, the good one. And we're going to talk about him as well, but we'll get back to him in a minute. But yeah, you got the good Wyatt family member now with a belt, spoiler. You got Rusev, who has not lost in almost, since he debuted at the Rumble last year, but since he re-debuted in like April or whatever, he has not lost. And you have Seth Rollins, who I don't think has lost a singles match since he got Money in the Bank, which I was there for. And then, of course, you got Kane and Mark Henry, who are just kind of meh. But but I mean, you got Rollins, you got Luke Harper, and you got Rusev.
Yeah.
And then you got Cena and, the newly, rejuvenated Ryback. So you got two guys who are pretty effective, and Rowan, I guess, whatever they do with him. But yeah, it seems like the Authority has a much stronger team, but whatever.
Yeah. What do you make of them bringing in? I want to talk about bringing in Eric Rowan to replace a apparently beat up and battered Sheamus. Would you have rather seen Sheamus on the team?
Yes, I think I would. And it's a nice way to turn Rowan. I guess now he's a face. But if you're going to do that, maybe earlier in the night, don't have Rowan interacting with Grumpy Cat if you want him to be seen as this massive threat to the Authority. Like, literally earlier in the night, he was taking a stuffed Grumpy Cat doll earlier. And then it's like, hey, now Eric Rowan's a mystery person. It's like, oh, great. And then, of course, you have Dolph Ziggler showing up. It's like, oh, the guy who just got his ass kicked earlier tonight. Great. Okay, awesome.
What do you make of that? The changing of the Intercontinental Championship when it seemed like they really were going to run with Dolph Ziggler and let him have an actual legitimate title run and push him as the champion of the show with the absence of, that World Championship that apparently is still a part of our company, the company.
Yeah, that also seemed to come just out of nowhere because, again, you had Luke Harper, who was, the last time we saw him, a backwoods hick cult member. He shows up last week, just tosses Ziggler to the ground, says he's a team player, and now it's kind of like, okay, you've kind of re-debuted him, he's on his own. Why would he feel the need to align himself with the Authority? And they basically give no explanation for that. It's just like, hey, he's weird, he's a team player, and now... So he re-debuts, and he's immediately injected onto Team Authority. And to give Team Authority some heat, he beats Ziggler. And yeah, it's kind of the case where I thought the same thing, where they might give Ziggler a nice long Intercontinental title reign, but no, it was actually 56 days, less than 2 months.
That's a shame.
So maybe they'll do it with Harper. Maybe they'll give him a nice long reign. I would doubt it. But it just seems kind of funny to me. It seems like almost like the belts should be reversed with the Intercontinental and U.S. title, because Rusev, who he probably actually has the most heel heat on the roster, actually, he's got the U.S. title, which is like the third string title, and Luke Harper, who just re-debuted and is kind of like, what the hell is this guy doing? He has the Intercontinental title, which is the second highest belt. It seems like they should probably be inverted, but I will say I really like Luke Harper as a wrestler. He's a billion times more talented than Eric Rowan.
I agree.
So far as a promo, we don't really know what he can do other than saying he's a team player. But I think he's really good. When he and Harper were tagging, or when he and Rowan were tagging together, I was really impressed by Harper. Whereas Rowan seemed like he could barely do anything. So I think Harper could be a good champion, but I guess we'll just have to see. I mean, Ziggler, he'll still be over, so it's fine. But I was pretty surprised they took the belt off him so quickly.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. I think they made a mistake. I mean, what I hope is that Ziggler gets it back.
Yeah, maybe he probably will at some point. Because it pretty much is, he's like the top of the mid card at this point. And obviously the Intercontinental title is basically the top mid card belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see them pushing Ziggler into the main event picture anytime soon, because Brock Lesnar is holding the title, and I don't see them going Ziggler versus Lesnar anytime soon.
Right. Absolutely.
So, I guess we'll see. My prediction, I'll just make a prediction right now. My prediction for what's going to happen is you're going to get Brock versus Undertaker, the rematch at WrestleMania. I think I should say, I think Undertaker gets the win, wins the title, and then Seth Rollins will cash in on him. That's my prediction.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a way to go, because obviously Undertaker's not going to be carrying the belt for any lengthy period of time. So you have this moment, Undertaker gets his revenge, and then Seth Rollins just sneaks up on him, wallops him, curb stomps, and bam, there you go.
That's interesting. So you're not going the route of the potential Daniel Bryan return to win the title, the potential for what's his name, Roman Reigns, your cousin, to win the title.
Well, at this point, I think Roman Reigns, his face turn when he was still on the roster before he, got injured, I think it was kind of going pretty meh.
Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't really, getting the heat they wanted him to. I think I've said the word heat about 8 billion times.
Kind of a chosen one in a way.
Yeah, like Drew McIntyre.
They still got a feel about him that way. At least I think so.
Yeah. I think he's definitely going to be a big star, but right now I just don't think he's ready to be your main eventer at WrestleMania. And Daniel Bryan, I love Daniel Bryan, but if you're going to try to put Daniel Bryan up against Brock Lesnar after he just demolished John Cena twice and he beat the Undertaker's streak, I just don't see that just no, it's not as believable when John Cena basically is the Superman of the company who's been going over for 10 years. Brock made him look like a jobber, and then you're going to have Daniel Bryan, who's about half of Cena's size, take the belt from Brock. Right. I don't know. I don't know. It would seem, even by WWE standards, where obviously it's predetermined. Spoiler. It still seems like it wouldn't be the route that they would go.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that we have not covered that you have on your notes? Fantastic.
I had a couple quick things. We already covered Luke Harper. I wanted to make a quick note with Grumpy Cat, Larry the Cable Guy. I didn't realize that the guest hosts were still going. This is news to me.
Apparently.
I guess we're going on, 4 years of this bullshit now? Off and on?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, anytime they need to bring someone in to promote something.
Pretty much. But what the fuck is Larry the Cable Guy promoting?
I don't know. Wasn't he doing some movie with Santino? Did that ever happen?
God, I hope not.
I think they were, if I remember correctly, they were doing some sort of Christmas movie. They were going to do a Christmas movie together, and it is coming close to Christmas time.
A very stereotyped Christmas.
Indeed.
I'm assuming that's what it's called.
I imagine it.
Yeah. So fuck the guest hosts. My other note I made here, Adam Rose heel turn, can that actually work, or is that solely reliant on the bunny?
I don't know, because every time he attacks the bunny, the partiers go back to like celebrating with him. So like I don't know. I think he should just one day he should just show up with like some sort of like towel or cape or something made out of the bunny suit, and then just acknowledge like what. What are you looking at? And then just never really fully acknowledge what happened, and then we just never see the bunny again.
Works for me.
I'm
Also,
okay with that.
also, did you see the bunny butt rape Adam Rose on Raw?
No, they must have left that out of the Hulafied version.
Yeah, after the match, the bunny kind of like Adam Rose went to attack him.
Uh huh.
Oh God, I'm sorry. And the
Must
bunny
have.
did like a go behind on him and thrusted his crotch behind him. He humped him,
Oh
which was not PG.
no, not at all. Very
So
much.
now we know who's in the costume. I think it's Val Venus.
It's gotta be. I can't
Must
think of
be.
anyone else it could potentially be.
Clearly.
Uh, absolutely.
I also just made the quick note. I thought the authorities' convincing of the of Team Cena on Monday was actually pretty entertaining. The
Yeah.
saying they would put the Big Show in the Hall of Fame and they would
No.
deport Sheamus. Oh my God.
Hey,
I thought it
stop
was very
smoking.
entertaining. Yeah, I know. I'm up to 6 packs of Marlboro Reds a day.
Yeah. And that's got to be tough when you live in filth. That can't be like really good. Probably pretty flammable, right?
Oh yeah. Actually, as the great philosopher Bill Hicks once said, I'm up to 2 lighters a day.
Nice.
So to go through a lot of them. The tag match on Raw: Dust Brothers, Miz and Mizdow, Matadores, Usos. My question is: the tag team division back to being dead?
Kinda. I didn't see that. They cut that one out completely from the Hulu
Oh,
version.
okay. Yeah,
But
it
it
was like an
sounds like
eight-man tag.
it's.
It was Dust Brothers and the Miz's against the Matadores and the Usos. And the one thing I will say, the crowd fucking loved Mizdow. They popped huge for Mizdow. He was the only one who was getting any traction in the match. They fucking loved Mizdow. So
Every
good for him.
week, every show, it's been that way. Like
Yeah.
that's been a continual thing where the fans have been all on Mizdow's side, and I understand why, and it's actually kind of cool that they're doing it because that's maybe proving to WWE that maybe this guy has more to him than you think he does.
Yeah, it's such a dumb gimmick, but he does it so well. There was actually like a moment in the tag match where, Miz got thrown out of the ring by the Usos,
Hmm.
and obviously, Mizdow is standing on the ring apron, so Miz gets thrown out of the ring. Mizdow runs into the ring and does a flip on the mat in the same manner Miz just took the bump, and then he rolled out of the ring after
Nice.
Miz.
Nice.
It was actually pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so Mizdow, I mean, they've already dropped the ball so colossally with Damian Sandow last year, where he was the Money in the Bank winner, and then he
Yep.
didn't win. Really friggin' bizarre. But yeah, so Mizdow is actually getting some traction. And the last note I had here, the New Day.
The
Now,
New Day.
my name is not Robbie. I was not born yesterday, but this has to be a swerve, right?
You think so?
I think this has to be a swerve because what is the gimmick going to be here? That they're going to be smiling, singing, they're going to bring out a gospel choir every time they come to the ring? It seems like there's something here that should be a swerve to me, especially when the first time we saw this group, it was Xavier Woods, excuse me, being like, no more waiting. Now we take. We're gonna take our opportunity, and then it's like, no, we're just back to we're being smiley, we're being singing. It's like old timey gospel revival. It's like, it seems to me like this is going to be basically the reverse Brodus Clay, where with Brodus Clay he was billed as being a monster, and he came back and he was singing and dancing. With this one, they're singing and dancing, and I think that when they come back, they're going to be not monsters, but they're going to be heels who are like just beating the crap out of people.
I would rather see them as heels. I think
Yeah.
I have been waiting a long time to see Kofi Kingston as a heel.
Yes, and he has been a heel in the Indies before,
Mhm.
as a pro Jamaica, anti-America heel. Funny enough, of course,
Interesting.
but they don't have to go that direction, obviously. But
No.
they could do the same sort of thing. It doesn't have to be the new nation. It doesn't have to be anything to that extent. But it should be a case of like, hey, we're two. I was going to say three talented guys. I don't really know about Xavier Woods, but Big E and Kofi are two talented guys. So maybe to get their names on the map, they got to start kicking the shit out of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't interfere with Kofi's ability to do a wacky Royal Rumble spot. Of course.
Right. No, absolutely. I think that, yeah, I want to see that too. But
Clearly.
I don't know. I think a swerve would be amazing. But at the same time, I don't know. WWE still likes its goofy gimmicks sometimes, so I almost foresee this actually being what we see.
Yeah. I just don't know what the gimmick is. Like, what would they do? How? I mean, with this whole sort of gospel thing they have going, like, what is the gimmick? Are they going to come out on Raw? Like, will they be coming out with a choir every single time they come to
Sure.
the ring? Like, all right,
I don't
fair
know.
enough.
I do have to say that every time I see one of those, I, confession time. Whenever I see one of those promos, I get like really jazzed. Like I get into the music and stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
like bouncing. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I like them too. I just feel like it has to be a setup, and maybe that's the point. Maybe they're like, we're done entertaining you. We've been entertaining you for too long. You know,
Right.
now, no, I don't know. I could be wrong. It just seems to me like this is going to be setting up for a swerve. I have no. That's just my speculation. I don't know. I
Yeah.
have no insider knowledge. Biggie and I don't talk anymore, so I don't know. But you know, I think it's going to be a swerve. I guess we'll see. We'll see soon enough.
Find out. We'll find out.
And that was pretty much the last note I had.
There we
Oh,
go.
other than the fact that at the very end of Raw, I was confused because I legit thought Team Authority had 6 people because I thought Cesaro had joined them.
Yeah, I that was a weird swerve. It was fun. But I wasn't really sure like why he did that. He's like, ha ha,
Yeah,
I'm not on your team. I'm not on any team. I'm a loser.
yeah, exactly. He's not even on Team Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ryback had his own team. He had Team Ryback. Cesaro's just on nobody's team, which also seemed funny too because it's like Cesaro was billed as like being the surprise, Team Cena member, and it's like, oh great, you mean the guy who just lost to Ryback earlier? That's who we're gonna have. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
Right. Yeah.
um, yeah, that's pretty much the last note I had about Raw.
Fantastic.
Do you want to segue into the predictions or into the trivia first?
We'll save predictions for the very end, I think. And we'll do trivia real quick, and then we'll do. I've got really only one news story, and then we'll do the news story real quick, and then we'll end with the predictions. How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic.
All right.
Shall we get into it?
Sure, I'm going to win trivia again this week because I have no opponent.
Clearly. And by the way, I would just like to announce I'm still considering the spin-off of my all trivia podcast. Still considering it.
There you go.
If anybody wants to play, or if anybody thinks it'd be a good idea, just let me know. And
That'd be kind of neat. I think it'd be kind of cool to have like a because you'd have different competitors every week, and
exactly.
yeah.
That was literally how I pitched it to Adam, where I was like, it's basically going to be a game show. It's going to be like 2 fans going head-to-head. I'm going to do 3-for-all. We can do Listomania, something else. And it can be once every couple weeks or so. And he was like, I don't think it'll work. So,
Well, okay. Here's what we do when Adam is too busy breastfeeding next week.
yes.
There's a visual for all you fans. Well, while he's busy with the child next week, if he's like, yeah, I don't think I do an episode, then we're totally doing trivia episode.
There you go.
There you go. We'll make this work.
Can get can do the pilot episode. It'll be
Yeah,
you
we'll do a
versus
pilot
Adam,
episode. Absolutely.
and the winner gets to continue to whenever the next episode is.
Yeah.
Basically, keep playing until you lose.
There you go. Sounds good. I like it.
There you go. Tell us what you think, fans. Would you like to see a spin-off trivia game show podcast? Let us know. Anyway, so shall we kick into it? Shall we kick into 3-for-all?
Let's 3-for-all it.
Exactly. For those of you listening at home, 3-for-all. I present 3 categories. Andy will pick the one he wants to choose. He'll get 3 questions. Whichever ones he does not choose will be rolled over to next week. Okay.
All right.
So, I apologize. I've been sick all week. Ahem. Your 3 categories are, number 1, for the low, low price of $9.99, questions about Terry Runnels. After that, I get all of my information from PN News, questions about wrestlers mentioned in rap lyrics. And, of course, that's why they call me Slammy, baby. I give you the Slammy nominees, and you tell me who won.
Just because of our comment earlier, I'm going to go with the slammy category.
Oh, perfect. I guess I kind of set up for that one, didn't I?
You did.
So your first question, I'm going to give you the nominees. You tell me which of them won. So it's basically multiple choice.
Okay, cool.
Your 1996 Slammy Award for Manager of the Year. The nominees were, in alphabetical order, Paul Bearer, Jim Cornette, Ted DiBiase, Mr. Fuji, and Sonny. Who among them was the winner?
I'm going to go with the one with the tits, Sonny.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Paul Bearer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. But yes, Sonny is correct. Sonny is the winner. Very good. 1 for 1.
Fantastic.
Second question. The 1997 Slammy Award for Best Finisher. Your nominees were Steve Austin's Stone Cold Stunner, Bret Hart's Sharpshooter, Mark Marrow's Wild Thing, which is actually shooting star press, Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music, and Psycho Sid's Powerbomb.
Hmm. I'm gonna go with Mark Marrow just because it's high fly-y.
Good guess, but no, it was actually the Sweet Chin Music.
All right.
Had to go
Okay.
much more boring. Sorry, too
No,
generic.
so, oh well.
And now in the more recent history, the 2009 Slammy Award for Shocker of the Year, which is kind of an unfortunate term. Uh, so your nominees were Batista turns on Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton DDTs Stephanie McMahon while forcing Triple H to watch, CM Punk forces Jeff Hardy to leave the WWE after beating him in a steel cage match, and Sheamus slams Mark Cuban through a table.
I'm gonna go with the Randy Orton one.
It was actually CM Punk forcing Jeff Hardy to leave.
Really?
It was.
That's okay.
Well,
I thought
hey,
we were used to him leaving for drugs or something.
yeah. Blame the fans if that was who was responsible for it. Which I'm
There
assuming
you
it was.
go. There you go.
Your next round of categories: the location where you can find an overweight husband, an alcoholic wife, and two shitty children. Questions about the pay-per-views called In Your House. After that, I'm a Paul London guy. Questions about Brian Kendrick. And after that, one ring to bore them all. Questions about wrestling weddings.
Oh, I was almost gonna. I don't know now. I've got two that I'm not sure about. Either. Let's save the wrestling weddings and go for the In Your House.
Okay, good. That's been picked for a while.
All right.
Or as I should say, it's been a category for a while. Number one, In Your House number 7, Good Friends, Better Enemies,
Oh, God.
featuring a main event match between which two real-life best friends?
Good friends, better enemies. I'm gonna go with Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the one right before Kevin Nash went to WCW. It was like that brawl where he ripped off the guy's fake leg. Do you remember that?
Oh, the Mad Dog Vachon.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic.
I think that was that match.
Nice.
What a way to go out. You steal a guy's fake leg and you get the most heat of your entire career, and then you're like, yep, see you, going to WCW.
Yep. Later.
Yeah, I can't top that. I can't top stealing a guy's leg. I got to go.
I don't think anyone can.
No. Zach Gowen.
Yes.
Next question. The main event of In Your House 13 Final Four featured a four corners elimination match between the Final Four participants of the previous month's Royal Rumble. Name 3 of the 4 wrestlers in that match.
Okay, so okay, let me think. So that would be let's see, that's In Your House number what?
Number 13.
Number 13. Okay, so that was after probably the.
I will tell you this would be February 1997.
Thank you very much. All right, so February 1997. I'm gonna go with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's one. That's correct.
Let's see. I'm trying to think who was in the end of that match. Crap. Oh man, I don't even remember. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Owen Hart, Mr. Perfect, because I feel like he was randomly in that Royal Rumble, and Bret Hart. I don't know.
You got Stone Cold and Bret Hart. That's right.
Okay, all right.
Because if you recall, Steve Austin was eliminated behind the ref's back. He came in and tossed Bret Hart over.
That's right.
And the other two guys who were in the ring at the time were The Undertaker and Vader.
Ooh, interesting.
If you ever go back and watch this match, by the way, In Your House, the Final Four match, this is the one where, I don't know if you remember, where Vader gets his eye totally fucked up and bloody.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think he takes a chair shot from Undertaker, and he just gets busted the fuck open.
Definitely go watch
it was really weird because the match was like, it was a Final Four match, but it was like, it wasn't a standard match. It was basically like carrying over the rules from the Royal Rumble where you can like toss someone over the top rope.
Oh, really?
It was so weird. They've never done a match like it ever up to that point. But yeah, very, very entertaining. And your final question, which superstar debuted at Bad Blood in Your House in October 1997?
Bad Blood, October 1997. Who debuted? Who debuted in 97? I'm gonna no, that wouldn't be him. I was gonna say The Rock, but I know that's not right because I think he debuted a later one. Let's go with Brian Pillman. I don't know.
Oh man, that's unfortunate because that was actually the night he died.
Oh, was it?
It was. That was the night he died. Was Bad Blood.
Oh, well, that was a poorly timed and not at all appropriate, like or even well thought out thing. All right,
You
so
know
there
what?
you go.
I'm going to give you partial credit for it.
I'll take partial credit. He
Yeah,
debuted for the last time. His final
that's
debut.
good.
That's a thing, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
We'll give halvesies.
Excuse me. But the correct answer, that was the debut of Kane. Uh,
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's what
yeah,
okay, Hell
the
in a
Cage
Cell.
Door. Yeah, exactly. Hell in a Cell, the first ever Hell in a Cell match. Your next round
Gotcha.
of categories, I actually initially did this one in honor of St. Patrick's Day, so this shows you how long it's been around. Irish wrestling legends, questions about Sheamus, Finlay, and Ken Shamrock. After that, Eat, Sleep, Beat Your Girlfriend, questions about Chaz. And JPL is a wrestling god, questions about Carl Ouellet, aka Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Oh, they're all awful. Um, no offense. I just don't like any of that. I just don't. I'm not gonna do well in any of those.
I'll
Um,
try not to take it personally.
no, don't take it personally. Fuck it. We'll go with Chaz.
There you go. First question. After leaving the Headbangers, Chaz went solo and became which character?
He became a character. He wasn't
He
just
did.
Chaz.
It was a very bad character.
Oh man. What was Chaz? I don't. Honestly, I've been barely. Only thing I remember about Chaz, honestly, was the
Mhm.
fact that he was with the Headbangers and then he was paralyzed. So
That's draws.
let's draws.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Close
thinking
enough.
the wrong person completely.
Yeah.
Oh, so is this the beaver cleavage thing?
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Ah, fantastic.
There you go. You're confusing your guys whose
I'm
names end in
confusing
Z.
my people that end with letter Z.
There you go. I'd be impressed if you remember this one, though. Do you remember the name of Chaz's girlfriend who alleged that he had beaten her?
Oh my God. Um, no, I don't recall.
It was Mariana.
Mariana.
Yeah, marijuana.
Okay.
That was a tough one. That was difficult. And actually, it's kind of difficult too because I don't know if anybody remembers this, but in June of 2000, Chaz began teaming with D'Lo Brown, who paralyzed draws. We'll tie in there.
There you go.
What was the name of that tag team?
Uh,
Chaz and D'Lo Brown.
Chaz and D'Lo Brown.
Indeed.
Uh,
Managed by Tiger Ali Singh, if that helps.
really?
Yep.
What the hell kind of sweet combination is that?
Yeah.
That's an interesting three-person that you don't think you'd ever want to put together. Uh, how about high and low? I don't know.
Yeah, pretty close. Lowdown.
Ah, low. That was I thought that, but I was like, it can't be low down. Wasn't that D'Lo's finisher? All right.
The finisher that also paralyzed draws, I think.
All right. Anyway, so
Anyhow, your next three categories in honor of the Ultimate Warrior's death. Obviously, you can see when I made this category. In honor of the Ultimate Warrior's death, unknown parts, questions about China. After that, come aboard the Ho train, questions about Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And the world's worst manage à trois, questions about three forgettable WWF managers.
oh, that one's tempting. I'm gonna let's go with China.
Ooh, all right. Number one. Speaking of, just surprised this pay-per-view came up twice in one show. China debuted in the WWF in February of 1997 at In Your House Final 4, attacking which valet?
I'm gonna go with attacking which valet? I'm gonna go with Marlena.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Very good. Number two, at No Mercy 1999, China won the Intercontinental title from which departing wrestler in a Good Housekeeping match, thereby becoming the first woman to hold the belt?
That would be Chris Jericho.
No, Jeff Jarrett, actually.
Ah, all right.
This was the match where Jeff Jarrett's contract was up and he was actually going to WCW, so he held up Vince for like 250 grand or something like that.
Nice.
So he's basically like, give me the money or I'm going to take the belt to WCW or something to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
So Vince paid him, and that's why Vince, on that one episode of on the simulcast, fired Jeff Jarrett right on the
Nice.
on the Raw Nitro simulcast. Anyway,
Nice.
too much history there. But anywho,
Little tidbit.
indeed. And your third question, when China posed for Playboy in November of 2000, it led to an on-screen feud between her and which female wrestler?
Okay, I vaguely remember a feud starting. Who did she feud with?
Hmm.
Uh, Feuded with what female superstar?
Yes.
Tori Wilson?
It was actually Ivory.
Oh, she had the right to censor.
Exactly right. What they're doing right to censor. Yep.
Fantastic.
And your final round of categories.
All right.
Funk me, funk me. Questions about Terry Funk, Flash Funk, and the Funkadactyls. After that, God bless the red, white, and blue. Questions about the Red Rooster, Kerwin White, and the Blue Meanie. And in honor of Adam's child, Robbie. Questions about the Highlanders.
I'm I'll do poorly, but I'm going to go with the Highlanders one just
Oh,
for Adam's
perfect.
sake.
Okay. So when ring announcers introduced the Highlanders, which unit of measurement did they use for their weight?
Stone.
There you go. Very good. So you're not doing as bad as you thought. You
No.
already got one. At Unforgiven 2006, the Highlanders got their first pay-per-view tag title shot. They lost to which team who defended the titles under Freebird rules?
Under Freebird rules.
Yep.
What was the
If you
year in
know.
the pay-per-view?
Unforgiven 2006. You know what Freebird rules are?
Is that in reference to like having a team with like 3 people?
Exactly. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So
Where any number of them can hold, or any combination of them can fight for the titles.
I vaguely remember there being a team like that, but I'm kind of drawing a blank on what the team was that had 3 potential members. Uh,
At least 3 members.
at least 3 members, right? Was it the Spirit Squad?
It was the Spirit Squad.
Yeah.
2 for 2 on Adam's Child.
All right.
And finally, in a December 2006 match on Heat, the Highlanders defeated Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch in a match that was fittingly in tribute to which WWE wrestler?
Okay, read the question one more time.
Yep, in a December 2006 match on Heat, side note, I can't believe Heat was still around then, the Highlanders defeated Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch in a match that was fittingly in tribute to which former WWE wrestler?
Tribute to former WWE wrestler against Murdoch and Cade.
Yes. But it's more fittingly because of the Highlanders.
Highlanders, right? Was it Roddy Piper?
Well, you just swept the Robbie category. Bravo, sir.
Oh, that's amazing.
Adam's Child is going to be blessed with many good years because you swept the category about his name.
I did what I could for that child. He'll remember his Uncle Andy.
Exactly. I wonder if his next child will be named Rory.
I think his next child should be named Rory.
Indeed.
I think that's the long plan I think that he has right now.
Yes.
Lulling his wife in.
I'm Robbie.
I'm Robbie.
I wonder how many stone does a newborn baby weigh?
Depends how big the rocks are.
Good point. A couple pebbles.
A couple pebbles.
There you go. All right. And there you have it. That was 3 for All this week.
Fantastic.
Fans, write in to let us know if you want to do a spin-off podcast, if you want me to do a spin-off podcast, because I'm considering it.
There you go. I think it'd be fun. I think once we pod fade for this podcast, it'll be all good. We'll do trivia. It'll be fun.
There you go.
7.5 points. That's exactly half of the questions that you asked. So there you go.
There you go. I'm glad you were scoring along at home.
I was. All right.
With the half being for the Brian Pillman death, I assume.
Yes. I really feel guilty about that. I honestly had no clue that was that pay-per-view, and I just thought, when did Pillman debut? I don't remember. We'll just say Pillman.
Exactly. In fairness, it wasn't at the pay-per-view. He died, I think, in the hotel room or something like that.
That's good.
He was going to be on the pay-per-view.
He didn't Owen Hart it or anything, so.
No, thankfully no.
All right. Well, so we're going to close up the show in a little bit here. We do have one news story and some predictions. Easy for me to say.
Predilections?
Something. The one news story that we haven't covered, haven't talked about, is a big-time non-WWE story, the one that tens of people have been waiting for this long. TNA, yes, has finally solidified a television network deal.
Hey.
So
what's the network?
Discovery Communications is the name of the group. So I don't know if that is Discovery Channel.
Yeah, maybe that would be actually pretty hilarious if wrestling was on the Discovery Channel.
Well, I'll just read a little bit here, and I think that maybe you can recognize some of the TV shows that they mentioned in this a little bit. But it says that Discovery Communications announced today that it has, and this is today in the news,
Mm.
that it has signed a multi-year deal,
Wow.
multi-year, with TNA Impact Wrestling to bring the popular league to homes nationwide on Destination America. I guess Destination America is the channel,
Okay.
part of Discovery Communications. So I don't know. Do you get Destination America?
I would probably doubt it.
All right, I don't have cable, so I have no idea. The only network dedicated to celebrating the people, places, and stories of the United States. Apparently, that is the station.
Yeah, why not? That sure. That's celebratory of the United States. Why not?
Yeah, they're going to premiere in January of 2015, and I've got a quote here from everyone's favorite in Heat, personality, Dixie Carter. We are very excited about Destination America being the new network for Impact Wrestling and the partnership with Discovery Communications both domestically and across the globe. Their commitment to promote and grow our brand in innovative and compelling ways was instrumental in knowing we had found the right home. Together, we will
Excellent.
create an experience that takes our fans on a new journey that will push the envelope of technology, including where we take our cameras, going deeper into our
Oh,
superstars' lives, and showing the reality of what it
into the
takes to
locker room.
create a weekly wrestling promotional show, all while showcasing the very best male and female athletes in the world.
Splendid.
So there you go. TNA not dying, TNA around, and
Yeah.
apparently going behind the scenes more here. So I don't know.
Yay!
And
We still won't watch, so it doesn't matter.
ah,
Do you mind if I pause for a moment?
oh, of course.
Yay!
Shall
Should I
we
pause the
pause?
recording as well?
We'll pause. We'll pause on three. How about that?
Okay. I'll
Three,
just leave it
two,
running, actually.
one. Pause. Okay.
There we go. Okay.
This is what happens when you smoke, ladies and gentlemen. Your lungs fill up with tar. You have to go and like remove the tar from your lungs. It's a messy process. This is just kind of nasty and gross. I should note where we are here. 11:52. We would totally be done if it were Adam and I. But that's awesome because we got some good trivia in. All right. Leaves us with our pay-per-view moments. We're waiting for the raccoon. Let's see if Adam's wife has given birth, shall we? Let's check. We'll just check this out real quick. Nope, nothing yet. I don't see anything. I don't believe that we have baby news. Nothing yet.
Okay.
All right.
Whew.
No news on the baby front yet, so.
No news. Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yes.
I had to pee really bad.
Understandable.
I had to leave the trash can.
That is extreme.
Whew.
All right.
Okay.
Are you ready to unpause?
I actually didn't pause the recording. I just left
Oh,
it
you
running.
didn't.
So.
You didn't pause. Well, I'm going to unpause right now.
Okay.
Unpausing the recording. We're back. I will edit. I'll do some editing magic. I've gotten really, really, really good at it with this,
Splendid.
podcasting I do, the Shadow Vein podcast. I don't know if you've heard of
I've
it,
heard about
Raccoon.
that. I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's really good. Go to check out shadowvein.net, and I'm not waiting to the bumpers at the end or the plugs at the end because it's my show this week. So you should check out my
Nor
podcast.
should
I've
you.
been getting more downloads than this show, which is sad. But still, go check it out. Go check it out.
Doesn't take much.
It's ouch! I did not say
Oh.
that. That was Raccoon Reigns. I'll just try to edit that out.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So Raccoon, we are down to we're down to one more segment. But before we do, I do want to mention this list of like A+ television that is on Destination America that they list here.
Of course.
I'm amused by the names because this is the network about America, right?
Oh boy.
And apparently this is
Honey Boo Boo?
no, I don't know. But according to this is actually one of cable's top 5 fastest growing networks.
Oh, all right.
So there you go. With unique American cultural series like Mountain Monsters.
Well, all right. What?
I'm not sure what that is.
That sounds actually pretty intriguing. If it's actual monsters, it sounds very intriguing.
That would be cool.
Maybe it's about Bigfoot.
Yeah. Another show, A Haunting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
Here's
sure. That's
here's another,
that's uniquely American, I guess.
I guess. Hillbilly Blood.
Okay, that sounds American for sure.
Buying the Bayou.
Oh God.
Not to be undone upstaged by Buying Alaska.
Oh, is
Then we
Buying the
have,
Bayou? Is that a spin-off starring the Wyatt family?
I think it is. I think it
All
is.
right. Okay.
We've broken in here first, folks. And then two other shows, Ghost Asylum and Barbecue Pitmasters. Better than Barbecue
Wow.
Pitmasters.
Oh, yeah, I would say so.
All right. So there you go.
None. I don't think I would watch any of those, but it sounds like they're definitely courting a redneck demographic.
Which
So
will fit the professional wrestling world, that's for
I
sure.
was just going to say yes, that's a perfect tie-in.
Absolutely.
The redneck
So,
demographic and people who like ghosts.
yes. Superstitious rednecks who like their beer and wrestling.
Exactly.
All right. So, shall we head on over to our 000 free Survivor Series predictions?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. We're going to start in the order from bottom to top. And if we're going to be talking about bottoming, of course, we're going to start with some divas. We have our traditional Survivor Series elimination tag team match. On one side, we have Alicia Fox, Natalia, Naomi, and Emma, who I didn't know that Alicia Fox was a face again, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll just toss her over there. Versus the team of Paige, Cameron, Summer Rae, and Layla.
Hmm.
So thoughts on the first of two Divas matches in a setting of matches that I only see like 5 or 6.
Seeing that lineup, I would just assume that you'll have the sole survivor being Paige.
Interesting.
That
Yeah,
would be my thought.
okay, I could see that. I think it might come down to it'll probably come down to Natty and Paige at the end.
Yeah. Well, so is Natty the team captain or is it Alicia Fox?
So like the graphic shows Natty as a team captain,
Okay.
but
That makes more
the
sense.
actual order that they give you here shows Alicia Fox first. So I imagine it might just be. I think it's probably just going from left to right. But then again, it's not because Alicia Fox is standing next to Natalia. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it's definitely going to be those two as the captains, Natty and Paige.
Hmm.
And I think it's definitely going to come down to those two. And I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I'm just going to end up with Paige being the sole survivor.
Yeah. I think it has to be.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we've got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, which at first when I looked at the graphic, I thought it was another traditional tag team survivor match. But we've got the WWE Tag Team Champions Golden Stardust taking on The Miz and Damien Mizdow versus Los Matadores, also versus the Usos. And it does not say it. I guess it does say the tag champions, but it doesn't necessarily say the tag championships. I'm going to assume that the belts are on the line.
I believe they are. They have to be.
Okay. So thoughts on this 4-team match?
I think the Dust Brothers are going to retain. The only other team I would say that has a chance is Miz and Mizdow if they actually want to go that route, but I think they're kind of going the route that they're trying to split them up. They're teasing potentially splitting them up. So the Usos aren't going to win the tag titles again. They already lost. They lost their rematch, and typically, like once you lose the tag titles, you just get shunted down the card, and that's basically it. And the Matadors, I'm going to go ahead and say they're probably not going to win. So yeah, I think this is an easy call for me for a Dust Bros retention.
I agree with your logic wholeheartedly. I think this may be a moment where they could maybe push that Damien Sandow Miz sort of feud a little bit further and give the Dust Brothers the victory.
Yes, the Dust Brothers will retain much the same way that Adam's wife is retaining water.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt.
I would say in this scenario, with Wyatt returning after an absence, this being his first match back, first match on his own away from the Wyatt family, I think Wyatt will somehow manage a way to get the victory.
I hate to agree because I don't want to see Dean Ambrose lose any of his push, but
Mm,
I'm either going to say that Bray Wyatt does pick up the win somehow, hook or crook, or there's a complete schmoz at the end somehow. Something
yeah.
happens that causes something to happen there at the end.
It
But
could end up in like a DQ finish or something stupid
yeah,
like.
yeah, maybe which will then maybe extend that storyline out a little bit further. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be the safe bet right now.
Yeah. So neither of them have to actually lose.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Up next, Divas Championship. AJ Lee takes on Nikki Bella.
Well, I think the rumors are that AJ is leaving pretty soon.
That was a
Um,
rumor. That was a rumor. I don't know how much validity is in that rumor, but it's there.
Yeah, whether it's true or not, I still think this is the time where they put the belt on Nikki Bella, just because she, as I said, she's improved so much in the ring. In this match, she could, in theory, have force Bree to help her win. Um, and then, once Bree's assistance ship runs out, I suppose they could start a feud there, or they could do a three-way feud with her and AJ and Bree. But I think this is the time where they finally put the belt on Nikki Bella. It's been since she turned at SummerSlam, so it's been about, what, 3 months now that they've been doing this. So I think they definitely want to put the belt on her. And since this is the next quote-unquote major pay-per-view, I think they'll do it here.
You make a very convincing argument, and it pretty much makes me want to change my answer, but I'm going to go with AJ.
All right, so
I
we'll be different. One of us will be wrong then.
There you go. One of us will be wrong. I'm going to go with AJ retaining and via Nikki Bella, Brie Bella rather, doing something to interfere and cost her sister the match.
All right, okay.
And then, finally, because apparently there's only 5 matches listed on the website,
Wow.
your main event, your traditional Survivor Series elimination tag team match, where loser goes home. Whether it's the Team Cena, which is John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, The Big Show, Eric Rowan, and the big guy Ryback.
Which he now has on his tights in tribute to Josh.
Absolutely. I mean, it's totally in tribute to Josh. Versus Team Authority. So we have Seth Rollins, Kane, Rusev, Mark Henry, and what's his name? Lost it already.
Luke Harper.
Luke Harper, thank you. They don't have the names listed. For some reason, I stared at him and I just got a little scared and forgot his name. So, who wins? So we've kind of discussed it, but
For the record, also, I think they announced that on the pre-show Fandango will return and face somebody, but they haven't said who it's going to be.
Fandango.
So we can't really predict that one anyway if we don't know who his opponent is. But I'll say
Right.
whoever he's up against, Fandango will win. Let's just say that.
Right.
As for this match, I think Team Cena wins. I think your two survivors will be Cena and Ryback.
I would probably agree with you. I mean, Rowan's going to be eliminated. Big Show will be eliminated. Ziggler will be eliminated for sure. I would actually like to see the sole survivor being Ryback.
Oh, okay, all right. If you
Kinda
really
like,
want to give him a huge push.
Yeah, and then he can put it back in the face of Cena like, you used to make fun of me. Guess what? I'm the one that won this.
Yeah. That would be very interesting. That would certainly be a huge push to. I mean, if you really want to cement this push, that would be pretty big.
Absolutely.
My question is also, in this case, with Rollins and Rusev, two guys who have been unstoppable lately, how do you have them lose if we think they're going to lose, which we obviously do? I'm assuming maybe Rusev gets disqualified, or maybe just says screw it and heads to the back at some point.
Right. Here's what you do with Rollins. You have
Okay.
Rollins interfere in the Bray Wyatt match, and basically cost the match that way. Bray Wyatt wins, or it's a schmoz or whatever, and then you have Dean Ambrose return the favor, interject himself back into the main event so he doesn't lose some steam, right? If he does go down to Wyatt, and that's how we get Rollins to either be pinned or be counted out or some sort of shenanigans for his side.
Interesting. I just assume they don't want to go back to the Rollins-Ambrose feud.
That's
What you
you're
said makes
probably right.
sense, but yeah, I just assume they don't want to revisit it this quickly. But you never know. I mean, obviously, it could just end with John Cena hitting Seth Rollins with an AA and
Right.
pinning him. But with Rusev, I figured with this being like a 5-on-5 match, I
Mhm.
don't think you want to waste your first pinfall to Rusev in a 5-on-5 match. I think you want, especially he just won the U.S. title, so they're definitely like giving him even more momentum. I think you want to have him, lose in a singles match to actually, make it a definitive loss.
Yeah. No,
You don't,
definitely.
you don't want to say the first time Rusev got pinned was in a fucking throwaway 5-on-5 match between Team Cena and Team Authority, which he
Yep.
doesn't give a shit about either one of them, presumably. But anyway, so yeah, I just assume Rusev will probably at some point just head to the back or get himself disqualified, maybe beat the shit out of somebody with a Russian flag. I don't know.
Right, right. I had a point for that, and I can't remember now what I was thinking. But yeah, I agree. I think there's definitely he can't lose. I remember now. It was going back to Rollins. Maybe Randy Orton returns, and
Okay.
build that feud between Randy Orton and Rollins leading into the
That's
next
good.
pay-per-view.
That's a good point. I completely forgot about Randy Orton.
There you go. So there's that. And I believe so. You're going Team Cena. I'm going Team Cena on that one as well.
Yeah, definitely,
All
definitely.
right.
And we just differ in who the survivors will be. I think it'll be Cena and Ryback.
All right. We'll find out. So
Indeed. And actually, it all comes full circle because if you remember 2 years ago, it was Cena versus Ryback versus Punk, and who made their debut at the Survivor Series in that match? The Shield. So there you go. It all
there
comes
you
full
go.
circle.
There you
Seth
go.
Rollins made his debut 2 years ago in a match featuring John Cena and Ryback
Absolutely. There you
at
go.
the Survivor Series.
All right. Do you have
It's all
anything else?
cyclical. It's all
It's
cyclical.
sick. It comes back around, man. It comes back
It
around.
does. What goes around, comes around, comes around,
Can't
goes
believe it,
all the
Steve.
way
All
back around. Oh, sorry. We now
right.
owe uh, we now owe a lot of money.
It's okay. That we'll give it. We'll have Adam pay it because he's rolling in the dough right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's gonna get a lot. I'm sure his relatives are kicking in a lot of cash, a lot of diapers.
Absolutely.
We could do the whole song if we wanted to.
We could. I think we should
Goes
just.
around, comes around, goes... Oh, there. That's
I
that's
think
actually the only
we
part of the
should end
song
the
I know.
episode with like just singing and playing music. Let's play like all the Beatles.
All
Like
Timber. I was going Timberlake, but yeah, we do that.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of someone that would like probably get sued for sure. Like let's
Oh, yeah.
pick some like snotty like R&B like I don't know. Like let's play some
Timberlake?
Rihanna or something.
Yeah,
Imagine she would be too happy about that.
probably not. I don't know too many Rihanna songs that I guess. You can stand under my umbrella, Ella, Ella, eh, eh, eh. There we
uh,
go.
all
We
right.
now owe about $500,000.
Ah, this will be the last episode of the Rundown. Thank you very much
Yep.
for joining us.
And we have
Adam
been
will now be
canceled.
incarcerated. All right. So,
Yep.
is his account?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it does say his name on your screen right now. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, it says my name, but there you go. Anyway.
Oh, I thought it said Adam.
And
Never
then
mind.
I'll change it. I'll change it in post. Don't worry.
Okay. Oh, it did. It used to say Adam. Sorry. Sorry.
It
Okay.
did. It did. I fixed it. So, not a father that I know of. All right.
Yeah.
So, I believe that does it.
Yeah. While you're doing the plugs, I'll sneak in a different song in between each one.
Fantastic. That does it for the rundown this Wednesday, November 19th, 2014, which I forgot to mention at the top of the show, so I apologize. 265 days since Adrian Neville won the NXT Championship.
Hmm.
Uh,
Adrian Neville, no relation to the Neville brothers.
no, not at all.
Touch the feel of cotton, fabric of our lives.
APW presents Full Force Elimination 4. My buddy Bill and I were talking about this. He sent me a glorious text because he was listening to the episode last week, and he's like, they make fun of SCW. We used to make fun of, we still do make fun of SCW for names that they come up with, that particular company, for their wrestling shows.
I've had a couple of my own.
Some great ones, some absolutely great ones, as I love.
Absolutely.
But Full Force Elimination, as he mentioned, it sounds like some sort of really violent pooping. Like that's like you ate some bad Chinese food, you had some Taco Bell or something, or and then you had Full Force Elimination, right?
So what you're saying is New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes you sick. Is that what you're saying?
I think that's what I said. I think it's pretty much what I said, word for word.
It actually reminds me of the WWE CD from back in the day that was called Forcible Entry. Do you remember that?
I do remember Forcible Entry.
WWE Forcible Entry. It sounded like, we're coming into your bedroom while you're sleeping.
Is WWE the rape album?
Exactly.
Anywho,
Excuse me.
the Full Force Elimination 4 on Saturday, November 22nd. That's this coming weekend at the APW Arena at the Newberry Fire Hall. Which I don't. APW Arena and a fire hall. Which is it?
On fire!
In Newbury, Massachusetts. Go to AtlanticProWrestling.com.
You!
Lucky Pro Wrestling returns to Clinton, Massachusetts. That's in good Massachusetts. On Friday, December 5th.
She's a star. Brittany?
LuckyProWrestling.com. Liberty States, Saturday, December 13th. I like how Adam puts didn't put any exclamation points anywhere else, but like this one, they're like, he put an exclamation point after the statement. Liberty States, Saturday, December 13th. LibertyStatesWrestling.com. Nothing for that one.
Was there no title for it?
That's all I got. Just Liberty States. That's it.
All right. Well, it's close to Christmas, so the left to turn way down low. Let it snow. Let it snow. That's good enough.
All right. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. You can email us at rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Give us your feedback. Give us your Ryback theme songs, although it doesn't matter because we don't really do the format that way anymore. Give us your catchphrases, which I've never understood exactly what that is. Give us your suggestions. Give us which is the same thing as feedback, by the way, Adam. Give us, right? Give us your fake sponsors. Give us your real sponsors, because Adam needs money. Give us your Doctor Who creator wrestlers from Pertwee through Hurt and Capaldi. Give you your questions for him to answer on YouTube, which will never happen. Give us Dear WWE letters. Give us budget suggestions from Vince. Speaking of Adam, I got to stop right here. This could be the text. This could be it. He says, so obviously I won't be able to do anything with the podcast this week.
Well, yeah.
So that means that I'm going to edit the whole thing and submit it. So fantastic.
Yay.
I was expecting to break live on the news that Adam had his child. Well, his wife had his child. He was helping support. You know what I mean. There's an image. Here goes another text from Adam. I'm going to read the personal text.
This could be the one.
Password for Podomatic is. Oh wait, I probably shouldn't read that. Never mind. I'm not gonna read that. Oh, that's.
Password for Podomatic is.
That's a lot of X's in the word sex. That's intense.
We're bringing sexy back. The motherfuckers don't know how to act.
Fantastic. Which means that if I have the energy, maybe it'll get released tonight.
Hey, that'd be pretty sweet.
Like to be released the same night that we recorded. Budget
Tonight I celebrate my love for you.
You give us so much shit for the plug section going fast, but I love it when you delay it. It's fantastic.
That's true. I'm dragging the plugs out even more.
Ooh. I feel like there's a pregnancy joke somewhere in there, but I don't know what send your budget suggestions. Send your wrestler combinations for Raccoon Reigns, which, I got another text from Adam. If you want to pen a forward explaining the rough cut and put it up plain, go ahead. Ooh, rough cut.
Oh my.
Anywho, you can leave us a voicemail at 206-202-6478. Apologies that we did not put the voicemail up. I don't have access to that. That's 206-20.
Angst.
Oh, there you go. Ooh, another text from Adam. He's
for the love
says, I don't know why I didn't think to send you the theme song and the stinger. Well, thank you very much, Adam. Maybe I'll try to steal it somehow. I don't know.
The theme song, I think, is I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking hate that song so much. But actually in the rundown theme, the rundown theme in 8-bit form, it actually sounds really good.
It does. Maybe I'll come up with my own music for this week since I don't have the music. I don't know. I guess I could always download the theme song.
I just happen to have a song ready for it if you'd like. If you want to use this for the theme song for the rundown. Tonight I celebrate my love for you. That's this week's rundown theme.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Raccoon. But we have more problems.
I celebrate my love for you.
You're gonna get so soon.
Peebo Bryson
Adam's
Jessup.
just gonna get this email, this class action lawsuit from like 5 or 6 different artists.
Yep, from Peebo Bryson, from Justin Timberlake, Rihanna. Yeah.
Oh God, so good. Go to Facebook and stop, Facebooking pictures of your cat. Instead, go to facebook.com/rundown wrestling. Go to rundown.podomatic.com to make donations of the monetary value. Go to youtube.com/rundown podcast to watch these live clusterfucks. Go to google.com/plus Adam Rundown host to follow Adam and know when we're posting these things on Google Plus. We do the same thing with Twitter and Facebook, obviously. I don't understand why he puts the Twitter way at the beginning and like all Facebook down here. It's interesting. I guess we have more Twitter followers or something. Go to rundownwrestling.blogspot.com because God knows we update that. Go to tinyurl.com/distant horizons to get your copy of a chapbook of poetry, which is it's fantastic. Yeah. Also check out shadowvein.net, which is a great podcast. We've got 4 full episodes, 3 from the current series, 1 a classic tale by Edgar Allan Poe, which is pretty fantastic, and some episodes ago, and possibly a bit of voice acting by Raccoon Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
Can there be singing?
Maybe. I may have to write something in.
Does one of your characters need to sing the song "Tonight I Celebrate My Love for You" at any point?
If anyone ever does, you will be the first person I call.
Excellent.
All right. You can search for us on iTunes or Stitcher under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast, where you can, download podcasts and
I'm a Stitcher. I'm a lover.
That was a little bit of a stretch there. Yes. So yeah, go check us out. Go like us. Go send us, feedback, all that stuff. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to all of you for listening. All 0 of you listening here live. You missed it.
Bad Tegan Brown. Baddest chick in the whole damn town.
Nice. Thanks.
And then a junkyard dog. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you so much to Raccoon Reigns.
But of course, happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks also to I Fight Dragons for the theme songs at ifightdragons.com, which I may have to download that theme song.
Dragging the line.
Just so I can get this up for the show.
Splendid.
And as always, remember, Jacob, good night, and good luck. And go to shadowvein.net.
Indeed. You know what? Tramps like us, baby, we were born to run down.
On that note.
Oh wait, I should end on a more appropriate song.
Okay.
Having my baby, what a wonderful way. I actually don't know the rest of that song.
Good night, folks.
Good night. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh my God, I'm stopping mine. All right. Oh God, that was fantastic. Good show, sir. Good show.
Yeah, jolly good, jolly good.
Jolly good. Oh, all right, let's close that.
Right there now, yeah. Okay. Let's export it.
Yes, indeed. Export that. Export that bitch to me.
Would be a shame if this episode were lost forever.
A long episode, yeah.
The final episode of the rundown.
Probably true.
Reasons.
I probably should post that on like the thing. Like, thank you for joining us for the final episode. See if Adam notices, because I'm in control. I have the password for Podomatic now.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Wait, is it 178?
Yeah. 178. Yes, that's correct.
Just making sure. I mean, the episode is 170, not the password. Yes. Okay. What the fuck? Off the bat, it said 20 minutes to export. That's just not right. Okay, it's going down now. It's going down. That's good.
That's good.
This was worrying me for a second there. I was like, come on now.
It's like,
usually takes 2 seconds.
What are you doing?
We're not going to have heel Ryback anymore. That's a shame.
I know! Oh, it's sad. Well, soon. He'll eventually turn heel. You know what's going to happen.
Feed me,
moron.
Are we still live, by the way? We're still live, aren't we?
Oh,
yeah.
We are broadcasting. Yeah. We are still live.
Let's do some more singing.
Oh, might as well. No, maybe.
No. This is what I mean when I say all the fans have been driven away. Sal doesn't even come by anymore.
I know. I mean, where's the love? Where is the love?
That is also a
It's
song.
kind of sad. That is. It's a Hanson song, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. Uh,
God.
oh, I also apologize that I didn't stop.
Where's the love?
That's right. It's not enough.
It's not enough. It makes the world go round and around, yeah. Oh my God! All right, stopping that bullshit. I'm really.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry, that's the other
I'm just
Hanson.
glad and not embarrassed now that there was someone else that remembered that. So
Yep.
178. Let's export it. Export that episode.
Run that shit.
Oh no, I've got bop in my head. Thank you very much for putting that in my brain.
You're welcome.
That's
I wonder if
all I needed.
I hope Adam doesn't get upset that we stole all those songs.
Well, we'll find out when he gets his lawsuit. So we'll go with that.
Every song I sang tonight is in the fair use guidelines or something.
Probably.
If I had sung "Happy Birthday," we'd all be fucked. But you know,
Oh God, yes.
yeah, that's not public domain. You got to pay for that shit.
That is not. All right.
Isn't that weird that you have to pay for "Happy Birthday" anytime it's in like a movie or something like that? That
Yeah.
just seems,
I find that strange.
whoever is the descendant of the people who wrote "Happy Birthday," they must be fucking raking it in.
Oh God, yeah, like super rich.
They get a royalty check every single time somebody does it in a movie.
Birthday. Someone just barges in. Some like lawyer.
Exactly.
Little Susie's like 4th birthday.
Yeah.
You are
One year from now, one year from now, when Robbie has his first birthday, they'll just barge in and be like, "Whoa, wait, a second here. Can't sing that.
Anyway.
Cannot sing that unless you get permission."
Do you have permission? Do you, little Robbie? No, you do not have permission.
My daddy wants me to be a wrestler.
Oh my God.
Those are his first words.
Those were his first words. Oh my God.
Wait, he's gonna say something.
Gobbledygooker?
Oh, great. On that note, everyone watching, who is no one and probably will be no one, I'm gonna bid you a good day, and I'm gonna stop
All right.
stopping broadcast.